What is it about Grace Kelly that still captivates us today? She wasn't just a Hollywood star or a royal icon. She was a woman whose elegance was as effortless as it was unforgettable. Grace didn't chase trends or attention. She embodied something rarer: quiet strength, refined style, and a way of moving through the world that felt both grounded and elevated. In a time of loud personalities and constant spectacle, Grace Kelly stood for something softer and far more powerful. In this video, we'll explore 5 timeless lessons taken directly from Grace's own words that reveal her unique philosophy on beauty, style, and life. They aren't just tips, they're guiding principles that can help any woman carry herself with grace. Tip number 1, let your style be quietly confident. Our life dictates a certain kind of wardrobe. Grace Kelly understood that fashion should never feel like a costume. It should reflect who you are and the life you lead. Her wardrobe was beautiful, absolutely, but even more important than that, it was intentional. From the tailored dresses she wore on the screen to the refined ensemble she chose as Princess of Monaco, each piece aligned with her values and responsibilities. In just a few words, she captures a powerful truth. Your clothing should serve your reality, not a fantasy. When your style flows naturally from your life, you move with ease, grace, and a quiet confidence that cannot be imitated. She favored timeless cuts, clean lines, and soft colors that didn't demand attention, but drew it in naturally. She wasn't concerned about dominating the room. She wanted to enhance it. The simplicity of her wardrobe didn't make her less striking. It made her unforgettable. By dressing with restraint and elegance, Grace proved that fashion can speak volumes without ever raising its voice. She didn't need loud patterns or dramatic silhouettes to be noticed. Her poise did the talking. There's power in knowing what suits your life and leaning into it fully. When you choose clothing that reflects your rhythm, your work, your rest, your passions, you signal self-awareness and maturity. Subtle style isn't about being boring. It's about being deeply in tune with who you are. A woman who dresses with intention carries a presence that no trend can replicate. Grace Kelly wore her values, and that, more than any trend, is what makes style truly timeless. Tip number 2, embrace discipline as a virtue. Getting angry doesn't solve anything. Grace Kelly's beauty was undeniable, but it was her inner stillness that gave her a rare kind of allure. In interviews and personal accounts, she was described as gentle yet strong, composed yet never cold. Her quote, simple and direct, offers a profound truth. Anger may feel justified in the moment, but it rarely moves us forward. Grace didn't equate calmness with passivity. For her, composure was a conscious, disciplined choice. She understood that emotional self-control is one of the quietest and most powerful forms of strength. In a culture that often celebrates loudness as authenticity, Grace's restraint reminds us that true authenticity isn't about spilling every emotion, but knowing which ones are worth expressing and how. Does this mean you should deny your feelings? Not at all, but you need to refine them. Give yourself a moment to pause, reflect, and respond with clarity. That pause is where grace lives. It's where your dignity stays intact, even when circumstances try to shake it. To remain poised under pressure is not weakness, it's wisdom in motion. This kind of discipline isn't just for the public eye. It's valuable in our relationships, our careers, and even our self-talk. The ability to remain rooted when provoked, to hold your center when chaos swirls, is a mark of deep inner beauty. Grace Kelly's life reminds us that elegance is not only about appearance, it's about presence. And few things are more elegant than the woman who chooses peace when she has every reason not to. Tip number 3, find fulfillment beyond the spotlight. The freedom of the press works in such a way that there is not much freedom from it. When Grace Kelly left Hollywood at the peak of her stardom to become Princess of Monaco, many viewed it as a fairy tale. But it was also a radical act of choosing substance over spectacle. Her quote reveals the inner cost of fame, the constant attention that can erode one's sense of peace. Grace understood the allure of the spotlight, but also recognized its limitations. Public admiration is fleeting. Inner fulfillment is lasting. Her decision to step into a quieter, more purposeful life is a reminder that true success is measured not in the headlines, but in harmony. Grace didn't disappear when she left the screen, she transformed. As a princess, she immersed herself in philanthropic work, cultural diplomacy, and raising her family. Her new role wasn't glamorous in the Hollywood sense, but it was rich in meaning. She shifted her focus from performance to presence, from recognition to contribution. In doing so, she showed us that walking away from applause doesn't mean losing your worth. It means finding it in deeper places. In our own lives, the chase for visibility on social media, at work, in social circles can quietly drain us. Grace invites us to reconsider what truly brings us joy. A fulfilling life doesn't always come with an audience. Sometimes it's found in private victories, quiet service, or a deeply rooted sense of purpose. The most radiant women aren't always the most visible. They're the most grounded. Tip number 4, let femininity and strength coexist. I would like to be remembered as someone who accomplished useful deeds. Grace Kelly's serene poise and refined beauty often caused people to overlook her determination. But behind the delicate frame was a woman of quiet strength and deep conviction. She never sought fame for its own sake. What she truly desired was impact. Her own words reflect this. Usefulness, not glamour, was the legacy she wanted to leave behind. Grace didn't just wear crowns and couture. She rolled up her sleeves in service of causes she believed in. As Princess of Monaco, Grace became a devoted advocate for the arts, a supporter of children's health and education, and a humanitarian voice through her work with the Red Cross. These weren't symbolic roles. They were commitments she carried out with grace and grit. She showed us that strength doesn't always shout. Sometimes it speaks in gentle tones, persistent action, and unwavering compassion. True femininity is not fragile, it's resilient, and it doesn't need to sacrifice softness to assert itself. In a world that often asks women to choose between tenderness and power, Grace offers a better example. Be both. Be soft-spoken and unshakable. Be kind and courageous. The most powerful women are not those who mimic hardness, but those who understand that strength is amplified, not diminished, by compassion. Grace Kelly's life reminds us that elegance becomes truly meaningful when it is lived out with purpose and quiet courage. Tip number 5, always have room to grow. I never really felt like a movie star. I always felt like I was an actress, maybe a good one, but never a great one. Grace Kelly's humility was striking, not because she lacked accomplishments, but because she didn't let them define her. At a time when Hollywood royalty was expected to carry a certain air of superiority, Grace quietly stepped aside from the pedestal. She never claimed to be the best, only someone who did her work with care. Her self-awareness deepened her. In an age of constant self-promotion, her words remind us that quiet confidence and humility are far more magnetic than grandiosity. This sense of groundedness is what gave her presence such depth. Grace carried herself with poise, not because she believed she was perfect, but because she was at peace with being in the process. Even after ascending to royalty, she never allowed the title to replace her humanity. She listened more than she spoke, observed more than she performed, and led by example. Her regal bearing came not from the crown, but from her character. She showed us that the most elegant people are not those who think they've arrived, but those who are always becoming. Growth was a consistent theme in her life, from her craft as an actress to her new responsibilities as a princess. She never stopped evolving, learning, or refining herself. And in doing so, she gave others permission to do the same. You don't have to have it all figured out to be worthy of admiration. There's grace in the striving. There's beauty in the becoming. Give yourself space to grow. You don't need to be flawless to be dignified. You don't need to be celebrated to be valuable. Carry yourself with honesty, kindness, and humility, and you'll find that the most enduring kind of elegance is the one rooted in self-respect, not self-promotion. There you have it, 5 timeless beauty, style, and life lessons inspired by Grace Kelly. Which one spoke to you the most? And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves elegance as much as you do. And until next time, stay graceful, stay true, and as always, stay classy.